Sir,
Morning, my brother.
so we get to meet you, sir.
Yes, I'm Dr. Michael Ashimashiga, the president, Eden Group. Although Eden Group comprises of E-Moringa Productions and Marketers Limited, Eden Group Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative Society Limited, E-Moringa Foods and Logistics, and Eden Pharmaceutical and Drugs Production Limited, and Eden Industrial and Construction Limited. Those are the companies that is associated to Eden Group.
Okay. So we've also heard that people have invested billions of nairas into the Eden Group. How true is this?
Yes, life generally, we have a lot of rumors and people can say anything that they wish to say. To some, they feel blackmailing or maybe working against what we are doing to be what will give them leverage over you. So when people talk, we don't listen to people. We know where we're heading to and we are pushing on. So anybody that says that they invested billions of naira, the documents are there. Let them come and show us how they put in the billions of naira and we are still where we are. Even though we know that we have gone beyond what people imagine. When you look all our records, we don't have, I think, not more than 100 or 120 million from investors. And then we have gone thus far. So just leave people the way they talk. We know where we are heading to. So, and we know what is their records and they're clear. And we have even paid a lot of them out. So to some that are still remaining, we are already pushing on and we cleared everything out.
This is actually very wonderful. We came here and we've seen a lot on ground, a lot of machines, a lot of structures on ground. So we want to know how far have you come? How have you been able to come this far in all your research and production with little that you have?
You see, one thing that makes a project successful or makes project to stand the test of time is the vision and is the determination behind the mind of the visionary. You must have a passion for a particular project first. If you don't have that, you might likely be working maybe on a failed project or a project that we likely call it, the way we have been seeing all around the country, Nigeria, as an abandoned project. So sometimes it's not all money that makes project work, but your determination. I have a lot of people that are, and a lot of companies that have even closed down in Nigeria today. When we see billions and trillions of naira have been put into those companies, and today you can't see them anywhere. But with the little that we have, but because of determination and a calling, we have stood our ground with what the little we have, with a few hundreds of millions at least, we can be proud to say that yes, based on the determination and self-encouragement and faith in God, we are able to put a structure and a project and a successful research on ground that worth trillions of dollars. When we say trillions of dollars, it's trillions of dollars, not just an ordinary project. So we know exactly where we are coming from and we know what we have in us. And that is why we are pushing on.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
We also still desire to know, we want to ask this question, that due to the climate change, there have been a lot of outbreaks, diseases, and so many other things happening. So how will this product affect the human race? That's the Moringa project. How will it help in tackling these challenges?
I've been saying, and we kept talking and we will keep talking, keep explaining and we will keep explaining. The very moment man tempered with nature, there is no how the world will stabilize without bringing back nature to itself. When we talk of bringing back nature, we look at planting trees. According to one Indian adage, they say, he that plant a tree, that is, he add value to the mother earth. He said the nature on its own will love you. So when you plant trees, you add value to your life and to the life of humans. And besides most of this, we have a lot of research and so many scientific proof and discoveries that has been working and tampering with the nature. So that have to bring a lot of outbreak of diseases and a lot of problems as we can see everywhere Either you see farmers losing their money because of maybe investing in poultry, and you see outbreak of disease or avian influenza killing all the cows, I mean the chickens and the rest of them. We are hearing of this arthritis that has been affecting cows everywhere, and you see a lot of them with diseases, and still human beings are being affected by consuming such kind of meat without proper maybe analysis or maybe proper feed given to those animals. How can we get even the proper feed? We have challenged the whole world. We are not just talking based on maybe some scientific proof and the rest of it. We have worked naturally and practically on it with Moringa. As you can see, these are some of the few products I think we have: the cakes, we have the tea, we have the powder, we have the men moringa oil extract, and the rest of them. So when we talk of changing the nature, you can't change this nature based on my revelations and what I have seen. I have been in so many contests with a lot of scientists, a lot of professors, and so many other ones. I think I have proved to them that yes, without moringa, the whole world will just be wasting its time going with some research and other things without a solution. So you must come back. Sometimes we calm down ourselves to wait and see where the world and the scientists will get to beside moringa.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Still in the spirit of inquiry, we wish to ask this question again. That Eden Pharmaceuticals and Drug Production Limited is in production and clinical trials of its first drug and capsule. How effective do you think this product is going to be?
When you said how effective this product is going to be, let me say this. Nature, or let me say moringa, I called it moringa. Moringa is the beginning and the end. When we say something is the beginning and the end, there is something in between. When you discover that this is a particular thing that has solutions to your needs or to humanity, and then along the line, based on some discoveries, maybe scientific discoveries and the rest of them, a lot of people have really gone out of their ways, and then a lot of products or artificial products have encroached in, and then people try to maybe run away from the nature as they supposed to be. So when such kind of things comes up, that is where most of these diseases and outbreaks followed. So at the long run, I tell people there is know-how. I think there is one statement that I've said some years ago that I made it clear that I said I think we can't get anywhere without what we are doing, without this moringa. So people must go back to the nature in order to make sure that we get the right product. And when you talk of effectiveness, the facts are there. We have the cakes. These are cakes that have been already extracted, and then after we extract the men moringa oil, these are the cakes. When they tell you, even when we are talking of investment and the rest of it, investing in drugs is one of the biggest sector in the whole world that people tend to invest in it, some silently. So when we talk of investment, you look at this product. If they tell you just few packs of cakes here that is waiting after the clinical trial, that these ones we stop production, but these little ones are going for production, and on these little ones, this is over a billion naira, not 100 million, not 200 million, not 500 million, a billion naira worth of drugs. This is just about 120 kg of one. So count them all here. And then if we have not tested to see the fact of what we have, it has been analyzed. This have NAFDAC approval and have that NAFDAC number. It has followed due process. We already have our number. So we have tested it in the lives of people, and we have conducted a lot of research with universities and the rest of them, and the facts are there. So there is no how that somebody will come tomorrow and say, this is not working. I will tell you, I say, gather maybe 100 people, let's share them into two. Give me 50, let me give you the trial. People are suffering from arthritis and so many other ailments and diseases all over the world. They tested our product. They have seen how effective it is. So when we are coming out, we are just waiting, let the scientists, we give them, take this one and do your scientific proof. Test it, do your clinical trial. So we know already what we have and what we have given out. So we know the result that is coming out. Based on what? This is 20 years in this project. It's not 1 year or 2 years work that we don't know where we are and where we want and what we want. So we know exactly what is coming out at the end of the report. And when we are flagging or launching their products out in the very short 1 or 2 months to come, I believe that the whole world will see. So whether we like it or not, clinical trial and the research and the report and the result is something that we are too sure, too confident in what we have here. You can challenge us using other moringa all over the world, but I'm telling you, you can only challenge us on packaging. But the raw extract of moringa, we know exactly what we have done on our product. So you can say moringa is not working. Come, we'll prove to you that moringa is working beyond what you think that can solve your problem. That is it.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. I will still desire to get more answers from you.
Okay.
I will still have this question for you.
Okay.
You know that unemployment and limited income is one of the biggest challenges we're having in Nigeria. And presently today, coupled up with the challenge of the effect of the removal of the fuel subsidy, what do you have to tell Nigerians regarding the solutions to these problems?
Yes, I think I particularly, Dr. Michael Ashimashiga, Akoloaga, I have seen her in Nigeria in the course of my research and communications or maybe report in Moringa and these issues of unemployment. You see, there is no how. I challenge everybody. If there is anybody or any world-based scientist or analyst that will come to Nigeria today and he will come and tell me that there is a solution beyond the simple planting of moringa that I have aired out. We have done our research, we've done our report. It's just because we have a lot of resources and resources that doesn't meet the lives or doesn't meet the needs of the citizens of the country. It's only earned by some few. So there is no analyst all over the world that will come and prove to me or will come and show to the government of Nigeria that he has a solution to his own unemployed youth beside moringa. Let them try it. They have tried. So when you ask this question that how can this affect, coupling with the unemployment, the fuel subsidy, which have put a lot of people out of work now, today, as of today, as I'm talking. I have made this statement 2013 during Goodluck Jonathan, our then president. You know, I made this statement. I said, I give Nigerian 10 years. That is from 2013 to 2023, which we are in now. I said, if Nigerians solve unemployment problem without moringa, I said, let the government take me. I'm ready to go to jail for 10 years for Nigerians solving its own problem without moringa. National Director of Employment, Ministry of Employment, and so many other ministries rise up, a lot of attacks and so many things. Even some of my brothers and people that are in the government by then, they kept looking at me that this guy is just making mouth. We are 10 years now. Have they solved the problem or we are in a worse situation? When you have a simple solution that they said, okay, as a youth, this is a plot of land. You only plant this. The government have the money to support you at that particular point. You support him with the little that you can support him to sustain him. And you refuse to do that. You are now putting the lives of that guy into danger by engaging in some other social vices in order to meet up with needs. So we have brought out all those analysis and facts and figures on ground that without moringa, Nigeria is wasting its time trying to create any employment for its own citizens. When some people took our proposals, some government agencies, some past government took our proposals, they tried to work it out. You know, when they get to a level, they hooked up and they said it's not working. How will it work? When you are in government and your citizens have an idea and another one is looking for work, instead of you to liaise with that and take that ideas and implement it and make it work out, that you feel that you have the money, you have the resources, you have everything. You take that idea because you have listened to what he have said, you grab that little one that you have, and then you went and start the work. Who tells you that you succeed in it? It won't. It will surely crash. That is where you go to all over the country, 774 local government of Nigeria. we have abandoned projects. Abandoned projects in the sense that people that have initiated those projects have not been carried along to implement it. So there is no success in it. So when we are talking of Moringa, we made it very clear, very simple. Without this due process and carrying the visionary along, you can't get there. So sometimes we watch from the fence and look at them. How far are you going? So the success of this country is my heart desire that Nigerian will change the status where we are now. All over the world, they are looking at us as if we are the most miserable people that have ever lived on earth, with all the resources that God Almighty have blessed this country with. Nigeria is one of the richest countries in the whole world, with all the research agencies and ministries, and we have the highest research agencies and so many ministries. They have tested of this. But when you test it and you don't have the passion to help your youth, you will keep wallowing in some assaulting policies and the rest of it. And at the end, you see the uprising everywhere. Hunger cannot live and unemployed youth to be watching at you. So we pray that God will help us. And then with our right leaders that we think God have given us, sometimes they say, I may vote, I may not vote. But if it's the will of God, when God brings a person, you must work with him and make sure that he fulfills that which is in his mind, so that the nation will celebrate. And that is why we are now asking the government, you have all the resources, engaging the youth on the right program and policies. That will be the success of every regime once they listen to it. So God will help us.
So the session have actually been a time of learning for me. So what words do you have finally for the entire world? That's your final advice word.
Yes, the final advice, I think we have a lot. When we talk of final, but I believe that we may likely have some questions that maybe you think, maybe you have not asked, that maybe if you are talking of going to final, I would have just concluded. But if there is any question at the back of it, you can maybe still give us before we get to the final point. I think I may likely like to hear more on if there is any before we finally, but if you feel that is the end, we can conclude it by saying that Nigeria has the best in the whole world, and we have the best here. So like the aspect of investors and investment, you can never count us out. We have the best program that any government, any reasonable government that will come in and say that he has a meaningful and maybe a project that will affect the life of its own citizens must look into plantation of moringa. If not, there is no project in Nigeria or in the world that will bring into Nigeria today that I will say each and every family will plant and they will eat from it and they will see generate revenue. When you look at our cows and the rest of them, all those are research that we have done. So before we get to that conclusion, I think let me share this a little. Like the aspect of our investors. Most people that have invested here, as I've said earlier, they have put in their money and they have seen beyond what we have. You bring in 1 naira and you see somebody to 1,000 naira. Drugs, productions, and tabulation. These are huge sector that I think it requires enough resources to put in. But with what we have already done, stopping even our productions, stopping everything, and then we have what we have on ground. I think in a year, with what we have, just with 1,000 people or youth per each local government in the federation, the revenue that the federal government are looking for, over 30 trillion naira, can be generated in only Moringa when you turn the 1,000 people per a local government to 10,000 people per a local government. Within a year, what this will bring to you. Most of this outbreak, you will clear it off. So you regenerate, you produce your drugs, you package and sell. Other countries that doesn't have the resources of what or how God has blessed us with, I think if they have these simple ideas, they would have been beyond where we are today. when I see Ghana here on their alternative medicine, look at what they are making, how their lives are becoming more affected positively than we here in the country. That we have all the arable land, the vast land, and the desert, and the forest, and the rest of them, all that God has blessed us with the natural resources which we cannot even exhaust. So we pray that God will surely look into us. Sometimes when we say God, people say you always bring religious to what you are doing. I say, no, no, no. When you talk of God, He has blessed you. And then He needs you to put that which He has given to you into use. You that have the money, you that have the government, you that have the idea, you that have the, you are looking for, maybe you have the strength to work. When all unite together, let me tell you, the whole world will come back to Nigeria to know that yes, God has a nation like this at heart. May God help us as we get there.